It looks like it's finally time to talk about why G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant needs to get the reboot right before the big Transformers crossover. I mean, it's 2025, and everyone knows the crossover is happening. And if you don't, well, you might be stuck in 2022. Anyway, Screen Rant's Rachel Forsch recently sat down with producer Lorenzo de Bonaventura, who shared some updates on the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover. So you know the drill. We're breaking it all down, plus everything we know so far about G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant. The upcoming G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant movie holds the potential to revitalize the beloved franchise, but it faces a significant challenge. In the past, G.I. Joe films have struggled to capture the magic of the original cartoons and toys, leaving fans yearning for a more faithful adaptation. With Paramount aiming to position G.I. Joe for a crossover with the wildly successful Transformers series, the stakes are higher than ever to succeed. G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant must reboot the franchise in a way that resonates with both new audiences and longtime fans. The Transformers franchise has already proven that reboots can breathe new life into classic properties. After the critically panned Transformers, The Last Knight, the series rebounded with Bumblebee and continued its success with Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. These films balanced fresh storytelling with nostalgic callbacks, earning both box office success and fan approval. If G.I. Joe wants to follow suit, it needs to take a similar approach, one that blends nostalgia with modern storytelling in a way that feels natural rather than forced. For years, G.I. Joe movies have struggled to strike the right tone, resulting in mixed reception and underwhelming box office results. The 2009 film G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra and its 2013 sequel G.I. Joe Retaliation were criticized for prioritizing over-the-top action over meaningful character development. While the 2021 Snake Eyes attempted to reboot the series with a character-focused origin story, it deviated too far from the source material, the animated series from the 1980s, alienating fans who cherished that cartoon spirit. This is exactly the kind of mistake Ever Vigilant must avoid if it wants to bring the franchise back to life. Instead, G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant needs to embrace the elements that made the franchise so beloved in the first place. That means focusing on compelling character arcs, team dynamics, and a narrative that feels both epic and personal. The key is finding the right balance, staying true to the vibrant, larger-than-life personalities that made the animated series a cultural phenomenon, while also modernizing the story for today's audiences. If done right, this approach will not only make Ever Vigilant a great movie on its own, but also set the foundation for an exciting crossover with the Transformers franchise. The Transformers franchise offers a blueprint for how G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant can succeed. Bumblebee marked a departure from the chaotic action and convoluted plots of its predecessors by scaling back the spectacle and centering the story on heartfelt relationships and character-driven moments. Bumblebee won over audiences and critics. Its follow-up, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, expanded on this foundation by reintroducing fan-favorite characters and elements from the 1990s Beast Wars series, creating a perfect blend of nostalgia and innovation. It also brought back the colorful, easily recognizable designs of each Transformer, making it much easier for audiences to connect with the characters compared to the overly complex visuals of the Michael Bay era. Similarly, G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant should aim to strike a balance between paying homage to its roots and appealing to contemporary audiences. This involves crafting a narrative that celebrates the camaraderie and heroism of the G.I. Joe team, while also exploring deeper themes and emotional stakes. Additionally, the visual and tonal direction should reflect the colorful yet grounded aesthetic of the original series, making the characters and their world instantly recognizable. If Transformers can pull this off, there's no reason G.I. Joe can't do the same. One of the key reasons for the G.I. Joe franchise's struggles has been its failure to fully embrace the iconic characters that made the brand so popular. The animated series introduced audiences to a diverse and memorable cast, each with unique personalities, skills, and backstories. From Duke's steadfast leadership to Scarlett's resourceful intelligence, these characters became household names. However, previous films often sidelined or drastically altered these beloved figures, diluting their appeal. To win back fans and attract new viewers, G.I. Joe, Ever Vigilant must prioritize character authenticity. Each member of the team should embody the traits that endeared them to audiences in the first place. Whether it's Snake Eye's enigmatic presence, Roadblock's larger-than-life charisma, or Cobra Commander's cunning villainy. These characters need to feel like they've stepped right out of the animated series. Moreover, their dynamic should be a focal point, showcasing the teamwork and camaraderie that define the G.I. Joe brand. This character-driven approach would also create a natural synergy with the Transformers franchise. By emphasizing character development and fan service, Ever Vigilant can establish a solid foundation for a crossover that feels organic and satisfying. Fans of both franchises would be eager to see their favorite heroes and villains interact, paving the way for a shared universe that honors the legacies of both properties. With the success of Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts, the path forward for the next G.I. Joe film is clear. By focusing on character authenticity, engaging storytelling, and a faithful adaptation of the original cartoon spirit, the film can reignite interest in the franchise and set the stage for a thrilling crossover with the Transformers. As Paramount prepares to bring these two iconic properties together, the pressure is on for G.I. Joe, Ever Vigilant to deliver a reboot that fans and newcomers can rally behind. If done right, this could mark the beginning of an exciting new era for both franchises. Now, let's break down what the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie is shaping up to be, based on recent updates from producer Lorenzo de Bonaventura. Screen Rant's Rachel Forsch recently had the opportunity to sit down with de Bonaventura, who shared some insights into the project development. He confirmed that they're indeed planning a live-action crossover, but clarified that the term crossover might not mean what people traditionally expect. For him, it simply means that the Joes will exist within the Transformers world and be present, rather than the two franchises being equally balanced in the film. He described the process as a balancing act as they determine how much focus each element should receive while keeping the story engaging. Right now, the film is still in its early stages. So many key details are still being worked out. And that's a wrap on the movie and crossover talk. If you want me to dive deeper into this or any other upcoming projects, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out. I'll be covering all the latest updates on your favorite series and movies. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.